So am I audible? Yeah. So we'll start. Okay. We'll record. So yesterday we were discussing about. Let me continue. Uh, So here, let us start with, okay. So we started with quickly, what is database, and then we try to understand what is ER diagram that we have understood. Then we try to move on to the different types of constraints when we are constructing the ER diagram. So that means first we started with simple data word. Then we went to database, then RDBMS package. Then we have understood database system. And if I want to design a database, so then we have understood from requirement to a, we are going to come up with a all nouns and created a entities, attributes, then relationships, then we call it as a ER diagram. This is what we have understood. And followed by we also discussed about we also discussed about constraints. So there we discussed about primary key and super key, then candidate key. Okay, foreign key. Okay, so we have discussed all this one, but prominently we use this. This is one we should know because we use it. Next is we are going to use this also we should know. So what we have discussed is primary keys is nothing but unique plus not null. So using this also we have a concept called unique constraints, and here the foreign key is nothing but primary key of some table referring in the current table. And other than that, we know that a possible key, all keys which are eligible to be primary key. Super key is nothing but it is having the maybe the combination of keys is, but to determine uniquely, but sometimes one key is sufficient. The combination key we call it as a super key, and unique constraints when we are talking about the record should be like a unique. For example, email ID, something like that. When you are inserting duplicate email ID, it should prompt. So like this, if we want to understand, so we have understood different types of the concepts here. So that is what we have understood here. Once that is done, see all these things we have understood. Now composite key is nothing but more than one key. Now, I think briefly we discussed about normalization. Today's session, we are discussing about, okay, if I am a person who wants to design the database, okay, what exactly we are trying to do, that is called normalization, okay. Normalization is the one of the process to certify the given data in the database. Let us forget at this moment the what is called the bookish definition or a dictionary definitions or textbook definitions. Rather, let us try to understand, okay, in terms of like a better understanding of a database design. Normalization means it is a process to certify given data in a database. In a database, whether it is remove all anomalies. Anomalies means during insertion, during joining, okay, during deletion. I don't want any the surprises. To enable that, they have come up with some certain process. We call it as a first normal form, second normal form, third normal form, Bayes code normal form, NF, and fourth normal form and fifth normal form. So we have different normal forms. So here, when you say first normal form, let us understand very high level. It is called as an atomic actually. Okay. So here, if I want to say that in one word before getting into with example, like if you want to say first normal form, we call it as a atomic. Means all the columns in a table should have single var. So this is the first normal form definition. Second normal form always says that like a no partial dependency or fully functional dependency. That means one column is depend upon the another column and completely. That is nothing but a second normal form. Okay. Yeah. Second normal form. So then we have third normal form. We talk about third normal form is nothing but what is no partial dependency, fully functional dependency. Let us we'll understand in few minutes. Third normal form is nothing but a no transitive relationship. Okay. And there is a Bayes code normal form. And okay, normal form, which is called as a stricter version of third normal form. And whereas fourth normal form we are talking about, okay, it is nothing but multi-valued dependency. Whereas fifth normal form we are talking about join dependency. So we have this type of different types of normal forms. First normal form, second normal form, third normal form, fourth and fifth normal form. So when we talk about this, okay, if your database design is said to be very good database, if you want to say your database is a very good database, so then it should be in minimum, it should satisfy in third normal form. So because logically speaking, it should satisfy, okay, third normal form. Whereas fourth Bayes code means if you implement this, sometimes we lose. Concept wise very great, but sometimes we may lose certain requirements we may not able to address. Certain requirement we may not be able to address. That is the problem. But ideally, this is better than third normal form. Whereas fourth normal form, it is called more than one like a multi-valued dependencies. So we will see that. And fifth normal form is nothing but if I combine two table, so any extra records are coming or not. So that is a validation. But ideally speaking, any developer, so they should always have a, if they ask, okay, what database design, how do you ensure that your database design is correct? Then you have to tell that it is we are evaluating in the third normal form. So that is what you have to understand. So that means we have understood what is normalization. Now, the goal was what? Normalization. So it is goal is reduce the redundancy. Okay. Avoids, what is redundancy means? Avoids repeating the same data in multiple places. Okay. We want to avoid the repetitive data in the database records. Improves data integrity. That means ensures that data is consistent and accurate. Data consistent and accurate. prevent update anomalies, minimizing the issue like update, deletion, insertion anomalies. And also, if you say that database is in third normal form or something like that, the query will be efficient because all unnecessary columns are removed and only we have relevant columns and records. And because of that, you can appreciate normalization. Now let us look into that. Now see, at this moment, whenever I take the SQL concept, forget it because anyhow we are going to learn as of now. But now if I show also, just imagine and visualize. If you are from non-IT background, don't worry too much, but you should always having that, okay, if I want to design database, it should be in the third normal form minimum. Then only your database is set to be very good. What team lead or a architect, if you ask you to review the database, they have to go and check whether database is in in the normal form or not. Now I have told that, okay, first normal form is each column must contain atomic values. Atomic value means it should have the single value. Let us understand what is this that. This is an example to understand this. Before first normal form, here maths and science, okay? A student enrolled for the subject maths and science. B students enrolled for the English and history. Assume that. Now the problem here, as per the first normal form, A should having a maths only one value. A should map to science. B should map to science. B should map to history. Similar to that. So that means you should not do having this one column should have only one value. That is the first normal form definition says that. If you should not violate that, otherwise, suddenly if they ask some queries, you cannot able to give proper. Then you have to retrieve it. You have to do a lot of things to manage it. Just with simple straightforward query, you cannot able to answer. That's why first normal form says. So, however, you have multiple values, but you have to ensure that, okay, like this. So A subject, this one B science, B English, B history, A science. So like this, if you do that, then this is called first normal form. So there is nothing called mathematical formula. Everything is done based on the observations. In the observation, it is going to check, okay, whether your table is in normal form or not. If it is not in a normal form, then what you have to do is you have to make sure that somehow it should have the any column, okay, should have only one value, single value. That is called first normal form rules. I think that's the technical term we use, atomic value. When you say book definition, it say that each column must contain the atomic value. Atomic means it is a single value. No multiple values in a single column is the general definition. Now, another normal form we are talking about. When you say you are in second normal form, already this rule should have been satisfied. Now, if you want to go to the second normal form, yeah, it is nothing but fully functional dependency. This is the definition as per the textbook. Okay, as per the definition. But what is fully functional dependency? So that let us understand here. Okay, here before second normal form, student A, anyhow, this is in it is in the first normal form. Why it is in first normal form? All the column values are having the single value. But unfortunately, if you look at that, okay, so sometimes you feel that, okay, the A belongs to subject, A belongs to grade. That means if you ask a subject, okay, for example, if A is a student and subject is there, grade is there. Okay, so here, if I want to know the grade, I should know the subject. If I want to know the subject, okay, like this, somehow I have to manage this actually, manage this. So that means it is nothing but in a table, stores a student grade. So instead of repeating the student name for every grade. So for every grade, I am repeating this. Assume that if they have 5 grades, 5 times it is repeating. So here also, it is not the second normal form. It is only satisfied because A maths, A science, B English, B science. So this is the problem here actually. So instead of that, Okay. So here instead of A, here John will be there. John maths A, John science something like a B grade. So like this, it will be repeating. To avoid that, what we have to do is, so we don't want to either, if you make this student ID or a roll number is a primary key, you ensure that other columns completely depend on that, completely depend on this. So there is no part of it, part of key associated with it. So in such cases, we have to do the two separate table. One is student table, another one is a grade. Student details we have taken, and subject and grade we have taken separately. So if you look separately, this one, actually here student name should be there, student ID, student name. But logically it has been shown. What we have done is separately we have taken this, but this is the primary key, means only primary key will be taken and associated with subject and grade has been derived here. Similarly, subject also we can make a separate table and we can refer here, like a two foreign keys I can use it and I can make it. So what do you mean by that second normal form? The full or fully functional dependency. Let me go back. Clearly, if I want to understand, assume that there is a employee table. We have employee number, employee name, a salary, okay, then like a designation, okay, and a grade, something like that, grade, okay, something like that we have.
Database
Now,
open.
now if you,
Database lasa sara.
okay, now if you want to design this in second normal form, for example, employee number is a primary key, okay, then there is a employee name, salary, designation, grade. This is one. Assume that you have made it as a employee name, okay, and another one I will do it as a department number for time being, okay. Now, employee, then I will take employee name, salary, salary and designation and grade. Now, if you look at this, here, if I get the employee number, I am able to tell who is that employee, what is his salary, what is his designation and grade. Whereas, assume that if by mistake, they have chosen employee name and department number, okay, as a primary key. If I combinedly, if I am able to tell, okay, together, salary, designation and grade, okay, there are, they can tell you, if you tell me a department number, I can able to tell salary, designation, grade. It means that salary, designation, grade is discriminated by departmental, not an employee name. That is called no partial dependency. It means that whichever the left side primary key we have chosen, all the columns in the table should depend on this column, okay? And there should not be any part of the key, like either you tell me department number, I will tell you designation of a person. Tell me only employee name, I can able to tell his salary. Though this type of database design we should not do. If you violate this, this is violating the second normal form. And this is following the fully functional dependency. This is nothing but a second normal form. What is fully functional dependency is nothing but whatever the unique we are taking on the left side, on that other columns should completely depend on it, not as a part of key in the sense, if there is one more key, you should not say that, okay, sometimes I will derive through employee number, sometimes I derive from the department number. We should not do such cases. For example, if I have this, okay, so employee number. So here employee number, department. If you together three, I can tell you all the details. For example, you don't worry if you just tell me employee number, I can give you all these things. And this becomes, it depends on this part of the key, not on this. What is the second normal form says that it is a fully functional dependency. Whatever you design, you do, whichever you say primary key or unique key, that is the main key through which I can able to derive That is the definition of second normal form. So because why I'm taking this much time to explain, because when you are asking to design the database, most of the people are struggle without understanding. Simply they will check and all those things. You should validate that each table. First normal forms, it should have the atomic value. Second normal form says that no partial dependency or fully functional dependency. So that is the meaning. At least till third normal form, we should be very clear. So this is what we have understood as a part of second normal form. So then third normal form, when you come to that, there is it should satisfy second normal form. It means that in addition to that, there is no transitive dependencies exist. There is no transitive dependencies exist. So this is the definition. When they give in technical terms, what is third normal form? There is no transitive dependencies. What is mean by transitive dependencies? A implies B, B implies C, A means A implies C. That is the meaning. Okay. A implies B, B implies C, and C implies A. That is not right actually. So it should be directly dependent. There is no transitive determinants. For example, in layman definition, if I want to say that, layman means, okay, no non-key. Who is what is non-key here? If this is a primary key, all other columns are non-keys. This is a non-key. No non-key should determine other non-keys. So no non-key should determine the other non-keys. What is the other non-keys are there? For example, employee name. You tell me employee name, I will tell the salary. But salary is also non-key. If you tell salary, I will tell the designation. Okay. Then employee name, if you tell, I can tell the designation. That means this is a transitive relationship. We don't want a transitive relationship, because in a table, only one king is there. That is a primary key. If you have so many leaders in a table, it spoils the game. That's why this third normal form is that, okay. For example, employee name, if you tell, if I am going to tell salary, and if you know salary, I'm able to tell the grade or designation, then employee name indirectly related to a grade, salary, designation. This is nothing but transitive relationship. That means they are telling that no transitive relationship, no transitive as per the definition, no transitive relationship. When you say no transitive relationship, in layman understanding, no non-key should determine the other non-keys. It is the meaning that. That means other than primary key should not determine other non-key. That is the meaning. So if you are able to understand this, then you are in the third normal form. So if you are designing the database, you should reach only to this level, third normal form. You should not, if you do bias code normal form, theoretically you are right, okay, but it is a stricter version of third normal form. Always it says that it should be a super key. So if it in third normal form, it says that primary key is everything, he is the leader, or a super key. So unique, but what it bias code normal form is that this should be a super key. This should be a super key, and other are the non-keys. That is what the bias code normal form says. But third normal form says that like it may be unique or a primary key. That is what. But any non-key we can consider, those non-keys should not have a the independent discriminating record value. Rather, it completely depend upon the primary keys. That's why third normal form says no transitive relationship. First normal form says all the columns should have the single value. Second normal forms, why I am stressing too much is most of the people get confused. No partial dependency. That means if there is a primary key, and on that all other columns should completely dependent on that. Third normal form says that if there is a like a non-keys in the table, one non-key should not determine another non-key. There is no concept of transitive relationship like A implies B, B implies C, implies A implies C. There is no meaning in that. So that's why you should not do that. Bias code normal form says that It is a stricter version of third normal forms. That means always some columns should be a super key or a primary key. That is called bias-called normal forms. But sometimes if you follow theoretically, we may lose certain times, okay, in some certain table, we may not able to achieve it. So that's why always we stop to the third normal form and we will not get into the bias-called normal form. So bias-called normal form, what it is that, okay, so in third normal form, it is in third normal form, but every determinant is a candidate key, okay, and candidate key. So that means all are belongs to a primary key. Whichever the column you take it, if you determine, then you to say that, okay, all are primary key kind of candidate only. You have to, you design in such a way that, okay, everyone is a candidate key. So that is what the bias-called normal form says that. Okay. So then if so, for example, department, subject, professor, wherever you go, everything is acts like a primary key. So that should not happen, ideally speaking. So, but theoretically that is correct. That's why we are end up with third normal form. If you allow to design the database, just stop to the level of third normal form. And after BCNF, okay, that's why I'm not getting into deep. Just understand it is a stricter version of third normal form. And fourth normal form, what is talking about is multi-valued dependencies. Okay, first it should be BCNF, then no multi-valued dependencies. Multi-valued dependencies is nothing but here teacher derives subject. Okay, teacher derives classroom. Teacher is also subject, so teacher also derives the classroom. But subject and classroom are independent but stored in the same table. So actually, they should have done teacher with subject, teacher with classroom. But in the same place, if they do that, there are multiple values for a single column teacher. Teacher determines subject also, teacher determines the classroom of that. Then there is a possibility of, if this are 5 subject, Asha will repeat 5 times. Asha will repeat classroom 5 times, 5 into 5, 25 records will come. So that is the problem with multi-valued dependency. So that's why we have to make sure that everything is primary. Like you have to create a teacher underscore subject, teacher underscore classroom. If you do that, then we can say that it is in fourth normal form. Anyhow, majority of situations, you implicitly when you are third normal form, you will reach this stage. But for taking an example, we have taken this example. And whenever you get any situation, if you get a multi-value dependencies, the problem is Asha depend on subject, so teacher depends on subject, teacher depend on classroom. So assume that we have 5 subject, Asha has to write 5 times. And assume that classroom varies for that. Then this is also 10 rooms are there, 5 into 10, that many combinations will come, and because of the 50 additional records will come, it is very difficult to query. So that's why always they give a suggestion in such situation, divide the table into 2 tables, teacher with subject, teacher with classroom. So this is how we can do that actually. So there is a BCNF and fourth normal form. If you think that BCNF is a no partial or transitive dependencies, because BCNF is an extension of third normal form only. Here no multi-value dependencies, and the types of dependencies are removed in FD. Okay, in BCNF functional dependencies are removed. Here multi-value dependencies are removed. Okay, here one course, one instructor, that is BCNF. Here one teacher, subject and classroom, there is a multi-values are there. Okay, the solution is you have to divide. That is what the solution is. So that is we are creating a sub tables. So that is what we call it as a fourth normal form. Anyhow, fourth normal form is a multi-valued dependencies. And last but not least, okay, fifth normal form. Okay, so what exactly the fifth normal form says that, okay, it is a joint dependency. What is joint dependencies? So joint dependencies is nothing but it should be in fourth normal form. So for example, if you combine, for example, you want to generate some report. You have X, Y, Z table. If you write a query, I should get proper records. Unnecessary, we should not get, okay, the irrelevant data. So that means if you do wrong joining, it will happen. Sometimes what will happen, there may be some hidden issues may create a problem. To understand that, we will do the join dependencies. Join dependencies in the sense we can, okay. So if instead of doing like this, employee, project, skill, all these things. So what we'll do is employee with skill, project with skill, okay, employee with skill, project with skill, employee with project. Like this, we divide all these things and make it a unique tables for all these, how many tables are there. But hoping that, okay, when you combine, when you write a join queries, we should not get the extra record. So that's why what we will do is once we write it, okay, make it, we try to join 2, 3 tables, 4 table, whichever we have a doubts, okay. And we try to validate whether it is giving the extra records or not. Something like that we will verify. So that is what we call it as a fifth normal form. So that means join dependency is telling that if there is a B, C, D table, when you combine for the requirement, it should not give the extra records, additional records, misleading records. So that is called fifth normal form. So this is nothing but there is no tool around it. Okay, you have to go and verify manually. That's it. So if you verify that, if everything is there, then we can it is a fifth normal form. So that's why still we have so many concepts are there. Loss this decomposition, the dependency preservation, we call it as. There are a lot of other concepts. I don't want to get into the database system because this is sufficient for you people to design the database up to third normal form. So any questions here? So anyone has any questions, please? Yeah. Jesse, Pranjali, Pravalika, Riji Joseph. Yeah. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. Yeah. No questions. Okay.
Just a question, sir. So
Yeah.
if we have to get a unique record, we have to join the tables.
No. So unique records means, see, what we are talking about, if you want to generate a report, what will you do?
Yeah.
Multiple you have to do, right? Multiple days you are combining, right? So
Yes.
when you are combining it, we created a table logically, technically speaking, we felt that, okay, this is right. But when
Okay.
we combine, we are getting extra records.
Yes, sir.
Then extra records, if you come, it is nothing but you have done a mistake. What
Okay.
normalization we are doing that before creating the table, we have to validate, right, whether it is working fine or not. Okay.
Okay.
So after fifth normal form also problems will come. I don't agree that, okay.
Okay.
But even if you have done MTech or MCA, even though you have done the computer science course, you are not perfect. Similar to that, even though we did a lot of steps, the anomalies and everything removed, still after processing normalization also, there is no guarantee that the database design, whatever you have designed, is correct or right. Okay. But
Okay, sir.
we can overcome through the minimum problems.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So that's why always in the interview, they will ask, how do you ensure that your database design? You should tell that third normal form. Why you have not done fourth normal form? No one does it because it has a lot of implications. If required, we will do it. That's it.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. And similar to that, okay, we have understood fifth normal form. Let us not get into in detail once again. So just quickly, we can understand that first normal form, it is definition wise, it is atomic value, removes what? Repeating groups or multi-valued attributes. Second normal form, no partial dependencies, redundancy in composite primary keys, it will remove. Third normal form removes indirect dependencies. That is what we can see that. Bias code normal form solves anomalies which is not handled in third normal form. And fourth normal form eliminates multi-value dependencies. And fifth is telling that hidden redundancy due to joint dependency, that verification would have been done. So these are the different normal forms. For us as a developer, till third normal form is sufficient actually. The next question is next important topic. Okay, we put lot of effort to bring a solution till this. Okay, but suddenly business intelligence and data analytics comes into a picture. So when you work on the table reporting records, okay, and we have to force to combine so many columns as a view or something like that. But it is against to the normalization process, right? So this is called denormalization. Denormalization. Suddenly people are saying that, okay, if you want to, till today, people are talking about, till we are talking about data analytics or data analysis, people are talking about, okay, the process of normalization. Suddenly after data science, data engineering, data analytics has been evolved, people are started talking about denormalization. So what is denormalization? It is a process of combining tables in a database and reduce the number of joins. When if you want to, but normalization says that create number of unique tables. But denormalization says that if you want to query, if you want to generate a report, okay, with having 100, 200 columns, okay, better if it is a 25, 30 tables, I cannot able to create by writing the joins because there will be a performance issue. That will be a performance issue. Joining two records, two tables, three tables, only taking more time. Assume that if you have to combine 15 tables, writing a query will be complex. So in such situation, something we have to do, then we are going against to the normalization. So that is called denormalization. So denormalization is the process of combining a tables into a database to reduce the number of joins required when querying the database. It is opposite process of normalization. Theoretically, no textbook will tell you to do the denormalization, but currently everyone is working towards the denormalization. What is the objective here? When performance is critical, you need a faster query results. For reporting systems, we need to write instead of writing a complex query, it's better to simplify it. Read heavy databases where storage, people are not bothered about storage, memory, and query speed is more important. Time is more important for the people. Because of that, we are moving towards the concept of denormalization. So earlier days, we used to tell that this to the student table, course table, everything we used to keep separate. And suddenly we are talking about combine all these things. If I want to combine all these information, instead of querying it, combine this. It may be repetitive informations. Please combine that so that I can write a one single simple query to generate a report. That is what we call it as a denormalization process. And people are nowadays interested in denormalization because of this. What is the advantage of denormalization? Faster queries, simplified queries, you can write it. Better performance to read heavy operations. But what is the disadvantage? So whatever the effort we made to remove the redundancy, that is there. Anomalies may lead to a problem. And also sometimes managing the data may lead to a lot of problems. So this is the technical problems we have as a part of a denormalization. And as a data analytics, when a data analyst or a data engineer, they face a lot of these type of problems. And that's why they're like observation. However, AI tool comes, however, the system moves to the next level. But finally, the verification should be done by human beings only. So when you are verifying it, you should have a clarity that what is affecting, what is not affecting. So data engineering or a data analyst or anyone nowadays, like even HR data analyst people are talking about. So anywhere nowadays people are talking about data analysis because that's why that is the buzzword. So data is required for a web application, data is required for HR, data is required for HR data analytics is there. Data is required for usually data analytical peoples also it is there. Data engineering is also there. Data science people also depend on that. AI people also depend. Everyone is talking about data, but that's why we have to spend more time in understanding the data. That's why when you go for an interview, without database questions, the interview will not be complete. So for that reason, always you should have an understanding of a database and the data concepts. The vast knowledge is most important. Just simply learn SQL, some few joins doesn't make any sense, but you should have an idea that, okay, why are we doing, what is the purpose of working on that, then definitely it is going to give a edge advantage for the people. Many times you have seen that in the software technology when they are working, some people are very high performers. Some people, however they do morning to evening, they cannot reach to the expected expectation. The reason is simple. It is not the intelligence. It is the awareness. For example, majority of developers, what they do, suddenly if someone asks you to solve questions, we will focus on the solving the question. But after solving the question, we should have given, say, look, why I wasted my this much time. Rather, I missed some foundations. Let me go back and learn that actually. If you do in that case, then definitely you can become a more successful software engineer. Successful software engineer can be anyone, but only thing is we should always think that, okay, if something I am taking a time to do the query or analysis or something like that, it means that, okay, certain tricks, that means foundation is missed, and we have to go back and prepare towards that, then everything will fall back. Okay. And also you can become the rock star of the team. So if you want to be a rock star of the team or a successful person in the team, or then definitely you have to work on foundations. So anyhow, next the 3 to 4 weeks, we are going to discuss many of such concepts when we are learning those things, and step by step. So now we have realized that, okay, what is database and what is database design, we have understood. But now people are talking about object-oriented database design. I'm really interested to discuss such discussions. Anyhow, I will come back to that as well once you learn SQL, because when you do the Java, when you work on the .NET, okay, so you do not require to follow this traditional process. If you have an idea what is object and how to convert from object to a database design with simple modification, it will be in third normal form. So there are certain tricks to remember for all those things. Anyhow, let me move on. Okay. With this, okay, we have understood this one. Let me take few examples here. Okay. So like, for example, Indian cricket team player match records, there is an unnormalized table. Okay, so what is unnormalized table is redundancy, complexity, data integrity, something like a Virat Kohli match, something like that. In report, we want this type of things. As a data engineer, data analyst people will combine the records and they can do that. But actually, first normal form. So this is how we can keep on splitting the table. And multiple player table separate, match table separate we have done. And once that is done, okay, match type. So this is also one more table has been introduced. Okay, similar to that BCNF. Okay, wherever the like some adjustment we can do that. Okay, that is an example. And fourth normal form, anyhow, already it is there. There is no, in this example we don't have use case for that. That's why we have not shown. And like this, you can work on few use cases. When you are working on that, then definitely you can able to do that. Similarly, if you look at this, okay, if you look at that, okay, this is a one business requirement. What is the business requirement? First, you will get a requirement, okay, and then when you go the requirement analysis, you will have to separate out what are the entities are in the requirement. That is nothing but a nouns. Student, course, professor, department, enrollment, or classes. Okay, these are all the entities. So when you say entities, there should be the communication, student versus course, professor versus courses, and course belongs to department. Student attend the classes, professor assign the grades. Like this, these are the relationship. We have identified the relationship. So like this, people are creating a student, enroll, courses that will be created. And once this is done, we go there students and we will try to identify what are the columns of this one. Once these columns are done, we started verifying how many types of association, many to many, one to many, many to one, many to many, one to many. This is how we have to do the database design. First, we start with the requirement, then identify entities, then relationship, then you identify each table and what are the columns associated with it, what is the primary key, what is the foreign key, like that we have to come up with, then establish the relationship, okay, how many students, okay, associated with how many courses, whether they will be enrolled for one course or two courses, how the professor, one professor can teach how many courses, how many courses belongs to a department? Many courses belongs to a one department. Like this, we have to come up with a association. Based on that, you have to, after understanding, visually to represent that so that all the developers should be able to on the same phase, we create the diagrams like that. Student, enrollment, course. So student is a entity, course is an entity. This is a relationship, but this is also one table. Like this, we create the multiple tables of this. Once this is done, we are going to translate this diagram to a table like this SQL queries. We are going to learn this, okay, course like this. This is the objective. By writing a SQL script, we are going to write this, and this is the objective of our class to learn what are the SQL script, how to create. This is a data definition language. From tomorrow, we are going to learn what is SQL. In that first concept we are trying to understand is DDL only, data definition language. So once we have done, just we will verify with normalization. And if everything works fine and constraints and everything is okay, as next step is we are going to understand like how to improve the performance. How do you improve the performance? By using a concept called indexing. So indexing will help you to retrieve it, just like in a textbook, you want to search for something, you will go to the the chapter and page number. Like that, that is the indexes. In the database also, we can create the primary index, secondary index, okay? All these indexes can be created, and this is for performance. When your database is not performing as per the expectation, there may be a chance that they have not created indexes. Now by default, the indexes will be created based on the primary key. Sometimes we have to add the additional the cluster indexing and all those things, we can able to do that. So from this, the performance will increase 10 times the earlier. So that means once we understood this, you can evaluate and by create the indexes by indexing using the indexes. This is also we are going to discuss. And finally, we are going to, everything is perfect, then we are going to implement the database, and any optimization, we are going to see that. And this is how we are going to test and deploy. Similarly, for denormalizations, we do the reverse process, and we identify the what are the data tables are involved, what kind of columns they are required. According to that, we write the views, okay? We may create a table, okay? But in this table, we can populate using like a weekly student performance report. So this is what I have to do that. Then how do you do that? I can create a weekly student performance report table or a view. I can bring so many joins. So if I can bring these joins, and automatically I can directly query here. By this, we can improve the like a reporting strategies. So that is called denormalized table. So that means views also most important for you people, especially for data analytics people, where you can write the queries on the small tables and generate based on the report, and so that you can able to perform and report query time you can reduce. So that is the objective of denormalization, and this is how we can do the denormalization. Practically speaking, and this is the process we have to do that. And for this reason only, now we are going to learn SQL. And in the SQL, we are going to discuss about DDL, DML, and DCL. Any questions here? Nancy, yeah, Bharti, do you have any questions?
No.
All of you are able to follow? Yes, sir.
Yes. But sir, I have a doubt regarding this database designing. Does all these things comes under the scope of data analyst?
Data?
Analyst.
See, data analyst means what? So you have a data and you have to organize, you have to, like what is analyst means? Analyst means you have a better understanding of the data. So usually what the confusions people are having is just learn Power BI or Tableau. My job is done. It is not like that. The foundation is nothing but, you see, some reports they add. You should have a clarity that why are we learning SQL? We are not simply doing joins there. We are trying to learn how to combine the data so that effectively the query performance can be improved. For that, you should have the foundation of like a data understanding data representation and data pulling, and that is nothing but queries actually. So for everyone, even HR data, like whoever talks about Power BI, advanced Excel or Tableau, these are all the part of the system nowadays. For example, everyone wants to work on the data inside, some graph, dashboard, and all those things. For all those people, this is the foundation. When you have a foundation, then definitely you can represent data very well, actually.
Sir, I have one question.
Yeah.
This is Pranjali.
Yeah.
So generally, like very vague, I would say this will be a little vague, or maybe this one. Like, see, everyone is talking about the database dashboards and these things. Like if you want to be a data analyst, you will have to work on these tools, say Tableau or Excel.
Hmm.
But then, how we where that separation between a developer or a data analyst comes into picture?
See, like developers in the sense, like for example, if you want to develop a e-commerce application like the Amazon or like assume that Amazon application or Flipkart application, there people are working on the practically the daily activities they are able to do it. That is nothing but the capturing the data and support for the like daily activities or operation activities. So that is what we call it as a developer kind of nature. What data analyst and data scientist or a data engineer does, data engineer he may be collecting the data from various sources. Once you collect that data, we need to inspect, okay, whether the performance, like the insight after generating a beautiful report, it is not a report actually, it is a business insight. So the data analyst job is how to, if I have a data, I have pulled the data from so many databases and so many data. Now, what way that I can help the business to grow? For that, what kind of report I have to represent? And usually earlier days also we used to do that by using the Excel sheet actually. And inserting the data to the Excel sheet, or we even in web applications, there is a concept called reporting concept, where reporting concept, they used to show the data. So that is called business intelligence. BI kind of means what is business intelligence? Only they used to tell the data about what happened previously. What if it is something fraud happened or something business didn't go well last Friday, or every Friday our business is dull. All these things will be given insight by the business intelligent people. Now, what happened is after Python and like a prediction statistical computation, people have started not only past, based on the previous historical data of understanding, people have started projecting the data for the future. So that means, anyhow, I have a hotel and assume that I am running from past 3 years till the 3 to 4 years back. We are only interested to know a report saying that how many businesses happened, which day, what is the business. That's it we have. But now we are through the data analyst, through the what we call as analyst, we are trying to bring additional terms saying that insight for the future. So that is where the data analyst or a data scientist or are coming into a picture to take it further. Whereas data engineers, what they are doing, they are connecting the data, pulling the data, and sourcing the data as much as possible for you people for doing the analysis. Okay.
Okay. So will it happen? Okay. Yeah, that's it.
No. You have any questions? And small question. Yeah, tell me. Don't.
Yeah, this is far away from our discussion of databases, but just that, see, so there will be very less demarcation between the developers and the data scientists going forward.
Yeah, see, usually why so suddenly if I do data analyst course and people will say that, okay, if you go for data analyst person also and developer also, if they say 4 years they worked as a developer and after they learned upskill program like a data analyst or a data scientist, they will be given preference because they have end-to-end understanding. When you go as a just you have done without understanding what is the foundation for database and all those things, some people may pick up very fast. Some people, because what they do in data analyst course or data analyst, only they will teach like how to use these tools. But basically at the end of the day, what you contribute. Many people I have seen, okay, they joined company, but unfortunately they could not able to survive because they have a lack of foundation. Because just dashboard building is not that anyone can do it. But slowly you have to pick up understanding what is the essence and importance. And you should always think in terms of business intelligence or business insight. From this report, what kind of solution I am providing to improve the business. If you think in that direction, then you will be survived. In that direction, whatever the foundations is required, you have to force to learn actually.
Okay.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm covering, see, usually our course of training, you might have seen that, okay? Most of the courses, what we do here, we always focus on end-to-end role, what kind of role you are going to play, okay? For that, what preparation is required. We are not just teaching, so just learn like what is called the Power BI, you will get a job. I am 100% sure that you will not get a job. Because you don't know what role you are going to fit. If HR data analytics, what kind of data you are getting, recruitment data you are getting, or that is a resume data you are getting, what kind of analysis I have to do, how to simplify. So the whatever the work we used to do earlier, we are simplifying using these type of reports. That's why they want the awareness of all those things actually. Okay, the user of the tools and the developers of that tools, the both are different kinds. But what we are making is we are mixing it because of that lot of confusions in the market. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. So thanks a lot. See you tomorrow. We'll try to understand something. If you feel that okay, it is deeply for developers, don't think like that. Okay? It is a matter of time. Just learn it. It will help in future. One or other day, you have to be an architect, a team lead, or a scientist. Okay. For that, you should have the strong foundation knowledge. Just it is a matter of 3 weeks, 4 weeks time to understand. That's it. Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot for joining. See you tomorrow.
Sir, can you share that the file you showed, no, sir, that
Yeah,
cricket?
we will share everything. Okay, not a problem.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.